Yeah, I seen a few $100.
Why don't we just have lunch and talk? We can do that, right?
How's Karen and the kids?
Okay. They ask about you. It's their step up next week, and I know they'd love you.
Yeah, you're guilt tripping me, all right?
No, I'm just saying.
I feel horrible about myself.
I know they wanted you to be there, that's all.
I'm sorry, Dad. I just need some fucking money, all right? So please just give me some fucking money.
Where does this end?
I gotta see this one through. This is kind of working out for me right now. I got 5 days sober.
It doesn't look like it's working out, Nick.
Oh, it doesn't look like it's working out? So what, then therapy, huh?
You can come home.
No, that
we'll
wouldn't...
make it work, please, Nick.
So a lot of times when you do an adaptation, it's from one book. This is from two, because David Sheff and Nick Sheff, his son, wrote sort of dueling stories about what they went through with Nick's meth addiction and his downward spiral. So, Felix, I guess, can you talk about how you got involved with this and the particular challenge that involved?
I had this film, Broken Circle Breakdown, which I was promoting here in Los Angeles and was meeting a lot of people, thinking about doing an English language film, but I wanted to find the right thing. I didn't just want to jump and make the first thing that came to me. So I took my time. I met a lot of people. And then when I met Jeremy Kleiner and Didi Gardner from Plan B, and when they pitched me this story, I was very intrigued already by this idea of having two books, 2 points of view about the same issue. And then I started reading the books and really fell in love with that family, with the Sheffs, their honesty about what they went through. I saw a very epic story of a father trying to save his son, understand his son, who has to come to terms with the fact that there are no easy answers when it comes to addiction. And at the same time, Nick's book, which is really, which for me also was an eye-opener in how addiction really is a disease and how we still, as a society, and look upon addiction as a moral failure. And I really felt and understood like what he was going through, and like the combination of those two books I thought was unique, had never been done before, and was worth taking on.
Luke, you brought a lot of your personal experience to this particular project, and I guess you didn't want to do it at first, is that right?
Well, it's kind of a surreal experience being here because I had decided 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, to not take this job if I got the job. Because of my past with writing Candy all those years earlier, I was really broke, and so I needed a job. And but I also had this thing of like, oh, I'm trying to create a path that is my whatever my future is as a screenwriter, and I don't think I should write another movie with drugs at the center of them. And then yeah, Candy was the third last film that Heath Ledger made, and we had played at Berlin 10 years earlier, and we'd had dinner one night, the Candy people and the Capote people. And Heath Ledger and Philip Seymour Hoffman were both at that dinner. It was beautiful. It was one of my first ever experiences of the big red carpet thing and all of that. And so jump forward to, I'm about to take the meeting with Jeremy Kleiner at Plan B, one of the producers of this movie. And I said to my agent, I'm not going to do this movie. I read the books, they were great, but it was like, no, it's not for me. And she said, okay, but you should still take the meeting because Plan B is a good company. 3 days before the meeting, Philip Seymour Hoffman died. And the night before the meeting, my dad wrote me an email which said, I suppose you heard about Philip Seymour Hoffman, that's really sad. I remember the stories you told me of having dinner in Berlin with Philip and Heath. Luke, sometimes I feel this family is so blessed. Because he was talking about my own history with addiction that resulted in me eventually getting clean, eventually writing the novel Candy, eventually writing the screenplay Candy. And my dad was not one given to express his emotions in any very overt way, especially about the past like that. And at that moment, it was kind of like, oh, I never ever dealt with the father-son relationship in Candy because it was too difficult, too loaded. And so maybe this is an invitation from the universe to change my opinion about taking this job. And at that moment, I thought, oh, I really want this job. I get to explore this relationship, this father-son relationship.